Going, Andrew Halliday, online personal trainer from Eden Melbourne Fitness and NLP practitioner. Today I'm going to share with you how to get yourself motivated. If you can't get yourself motivated, how do you do that? Today I'm going to share with you some of the surefire ways to do that, because of course we all know that we're constrained by a whole heap of different time pressures. Some people say that they haven't got enough time. Some people say they don't know what to do. They're just too tired. They can be stuffed. There's a whole range of reasons why you can't get yourself motivated to either get your exercise program done or achieve the goals that you want to achieve in your health and wellness. And you know this is really extremely important. You've identified the whole range of reasons why you should be doing it. And even though you know exactly why you should be doing it, you just don't do it. And when it comes to the point where it's time to actually get started and action some of those steps that you've laid out and you planned, that it just doesn't happen. So today I'm going to talk about how you can do that and do that easily, no matter whether you've tried in the past and failed, no matter what programs you've had to go at before. There's some key steps. If you take these key steps, then you can easily get yourself motivated, and then also maintain that motivation and continue to be inspired all the way through. Now, this may be something that is of personal interest to you, or there might be someone who you know or love that may actually benefit from this. So if you think this is a benefit to anybody, then just put their name in the comment section below, and that way they can have a bit of a listen to it themselves, because I know that sometimes it's a bit of a difficult problem to broach with someone, and that it might be easier if they just listen to a video and watch someone else instruct and take the time to listen to what they could possibly do, and you don't have to tell them again and again and again that this is the key steps they should be taking that you've already told them already in some way. But it just means that you don't have to have that uncomfortable conversation with them again. So I'm going to go through those steps. And if you're the type of person who, no matter whether someone tells you what the steps are, you need some type of additional encouragement, and you need then on top of that to work through with someone else, because either it's more enjoyable or you feel like you get a lot more traction, or when you bounce off the ideas with someone else and you do it with someone else, then I can certainly assist you with that as well. But let's just start off with, just say for instance at the moment you're motivated, you want to get motivated, and once you're motivated you want to keep going. There may have been a time where you felt motivated before and you thought, what if only I could just be like that? Well, believe it or not, there is one more step before you actually get started that you need to really spend some time overcoming that particular issue, because otherwise what will happen is you may actually get started, or you might have even tried to get started and you just can't do it. And the key reason is because there's some type of roadblock that's in the way that's prevented you from keep on going. Now, it's really important to spend a little bit of time identifying what that roadblock is. And the reason why it's really important to spend a bit of time identifying what that roadblock is because at some stage, no matter whether you've started or you want to start, at some stage it's going to come back and require your attention. And if you don't give that roadblock or some challenge or some frustration, if you don't give that the right amount of attention, what will happen is not only will it stop you from keeping on going, but it's going to pull you right back to where you started, and sometimes a little bit further back. And some of you are nodding your head right now. It's like, yeah, that's happened to me before. Like I've made some headway previously, and I know that I could have kept on going, but for whatever reason, I just stopped. And that's because of this particular roadblock or challenge. It's some type of, also maybe some type of fear that has been holding you back. And generally it's not what you think. The excuse that you put up in the first place, like I'm too tired, I don't know what to do, it's too cold. They're minor excuses that sound like they should be the type of thing that should be holding you back, but they're not really the actual root cause of what's stopping you. They're generally a couple of layers deep, and it requires just a little bit of skill or just a little bit of soul searching to ensure that you can go deep enough and find what is actually holding you back. So it could be, for example, it could be if you start by saying, oh, I'm just too tired, I can't get going. And then when you dig a little bit deeper, it's not the fact that you're just too tired, you can't get going. It's the fact that you're too tired because you're working too much. I'm going to use something really simple because oftentimes it's really, really simple. And if you're too tired because you're working too much, there may be some type of challenge or stress at work that you have been putting off, whether you've been putting off dealing with this problem because there's some type of confrontation that will hit you. If you deal with that challenge, then what happens is it gives you very little energy to then go off and participate in healthy eating habits or a good exercise routine. Because if you think about it, if you then went and got a lot more energy through your exercise and your eating regime, then you'd have to then potentially deal with the challenge that was presented to you, say, at work in the first place. Now, because you don't want to deal with that situation, you're not going to get more energy. You're not going to feel more likely to deal with the situation. And by having the excuse that you haven't got enough energy to participate in the exercise, it prevents you from having to deal with that work situation in the first place. Now, some of you are nodding, just going, yeah, I totally get what you're saying. Like, work is a stress. It might not be work. It might be something to do with your family, or it might be something to do with another relationship, or it might be something that's happened to you a long time ago that hasn't been dealt with. And until you deal with it, you'll never get to achieve one of those physical goals or feeling good and self-confidence goals that you've always wanted to achieve. So you need to deal with the problem. And this is one of my skill sets. I can assist you with that. And it requires just a little bit of time, but once you've got that out of the way, or once you've identified it, you'll just be nodding on the inside going, that is it. As simplistic as it is, that is the main problem. Now, for some people, they go, oh, that's the problem. I know how to deal with it. And that's good. Off you go on your merry way, deal with the problem. Other people go, oh, that's a problem. I've got no way. There's no way in the world I'll be ever able to deal with that situation. And that's another problem in itself. So the second part then is to have the resources, internal resources, to be able to deal with the problem or the situation. Some people get angry. Some people just, once again, just shy away from the problem. Some people get really excited about the fact that they now know what the problem is, and they set down a strategy to overcome that problem. There's a whole range of different ways to deal with it. But one of the best ways I know to deal with it is you become more internally resourced. And there's special ways that you can become internally resourced. For example, you can put some music on, right, and listen to the music. And when you hear some really good music, you feel good inside, and you look upon the problem in a different way now because you're feeling happier about yourself. So your emotions allow you to deal with the situation. Some people would prefer to go out for a run and they think about the problem and how to solve it. You know, there are all different ways of doing this, but you need to become a lot more personally, internally resourced so you can deal with the situation. Once again, that is part of my skill set. I help people feel more resourced so you can actually deal with a situation that you hadn't been able to deal with in the past. So those two areas I can assist you with But if you already understand, you go, oh yeah, I get that. Number one, I need to know what the problem is, and number two, I need to have the resources to deal with it. And then once you've dealt with it, then off you go, and then you can actually start achieving the physical well-being, like mentally energizing type experiences that you want. That's the reason why you listen to this in the first place, so you can to get motivated and continue to be motivated. And then lastly, this is the other part, that no matter what goal you set for yourself, no matter what challenge you set for yourself, at some stage you need to start to believe that you've got the capabilities and the abilities to achieve that particular goal or outcome or desirable life. And once again, this is one of the things that really light me up, that I help people find fulfillment in what goal they're trying to achieve. So once you find that you know what fulfills your life, and you can link it in with this new strategy or behavior change that you want to have, which is associated with a good exercise and diet regime, as an example, then what you need to do is start to believe that you can do it. Because once you believe that this is the real and new you, then everything's possible. If you don't believe that this is the new and real you, then once again, you've got a problem. You need the resources to deal with it. But by utilizing the key strategies that I've got for you, that are personalized, because it's all depending on what you're capable of, because you need to start to believe that it is all possible. So once we utilize those strategies, then what happens is you believe that this is possible, this is doable, and I can do it. And then it's just a self-fulfilling prophecy then, that you will achieve the result that you're after. Now imagine for a moment that you remove all the roadblocks or issues that are stopping you and demotivating you. Okay, so we'll put those aside, remove all those fears and challenges that have been stopping you. Then secondly, imagine if you get those internal resources whereby you're energized and you're feeling powerful, or you're feeling confident that you can do it. And then lastly, imagine if you start to actually believe, by participating in some of the strategies I give you, you actually start to believe that this is doable, and then you actually believe that it can be done. Right? So imagine how powerful that is. When you think about those three things, getting rid of the roadblocks, having the resources to continue to improve, and then believe that it's possible, think about those three things, and then put that on top of how demotivated you are at the moment. Imagine how motivated you would be to achieve whatever it might be, by putting it so simply like that. So they're the three keys. You need to make sure that you get rid of the roadblocks. Then you ensure that you've got the resources to deal with whatever the challenge or the situation is. And then finally, start to believe by actioning certain actions, creating new habits and beliefs. And then you'll just be on your path, and you'll feel completely motivated and continually motivated to achieve the goal and objective that you've laid out for yourself. So once again, if this makes sense to you and this is of interest to you, right, some of you will go, that you're sort of nodding at the moment on the inside, yeah, I get that, I need that. Or, oh, you've told me what to do, that's my strategy now, I'm going to go off and implement. That's excellent. If you have some success out of these three small, easy points, then just let us know how you go and write some comments down below. If there is something that you need a little bit more help with, then I've got a 6-week program that you can participate in, and I've only got room for 3 participants. So if you'd like to know more about it, and just a direct message with me, and we could just converse back and forth to see whether this is what you need, I might be able to help you out in a very couple of short communications, and then you won't need to do the 6-week program. But if you do need to do this 6-week program, then you'll be able to decide on the spot whether it's definitely for you and if I can help you. And then finally, if there's someone else that you know that, having listened to this, that would definitely benefit from it. Would definitely benefit from removing some roadblocks, and then on top of that, having additional resources to make them feel good to move forward and advance, and then having the right strategy that's personally customized to them. Then if there's anybody who would benefit from this, then just put their name in the comments section, and then that way they can benefit from this too. But in the meantime, like I said, I've only got 3 places available, so just be quick to make sure that you let anybody know who this could benefit. If it's you, then I'd love to speak to you. If it's not, then someone else, let me know in the comment section. I'd love to help you. That's what I do. My name's Andrew Halliday, online personal trainer, even Melbourne personal training, NLP practitioner. This is what lights me up to help you.